to his over 100,000 followers on social media. He was the blueprint of the modern self-made millionaire. Frederick Kumi, widely known online as Abu Trica, lived a life most could only dream of. A fleet of exotic sports cars, high-end designer drip, and a sprawling mansion in Ghana. He was the definition of making it. But in the dark corners of the internet, behind the flashy lifestyle and the luxury facade, a very different story was unfolding. A story of deception, vulnerable victims, and a cutting-edge technological weapon. To the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation, Abu Trica wasn't a successful young entrepreneur. He was the alleged mastermind behind a highly sophisticated, multi-million-dollar international cyber fraud syndicate. A network that didn't just steal money. They stole lives, targeting elderly Americans and stripping them of their life savings. And their secret weapon? Artificial intelligence. Welcome back to Bad Files. Kindly subscribe to the channel to help us get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on one of the most high-tech cybercrime investigations of our time. This is the rise, the flashy deception, and the dramatic international downfall of Abu Trica. To understand how this empire fell, we first have to understand how it was built. Frederick Kumi was a prominent figure in the Ghanaian social media space. In a landscape where showing off wealth is highly celebrated, Abu Trica stood out. He wasn't shy about his riches. He regularly posted videos showcasing heavy stacks of US dollars and Ghanaian cedis, luxury vehicles, and expensive jewelry. To the youth looking up to him, he was an inspiration. But while his followers were liking and sharing his posts, a U.S. federal grand jury in the Western District of Missouri was quietly assembling a massive criminal indictment. The feds weren't looking at a local hustler. They were looking at an organized criminal enterprise operating across international borders. The indictment alleged that from at least 2015 all the way through recent years, Kumi and his co-conspirators ran a massive business email compromise and romance scam syndicate. But this wasn't your average, run-of-the-mill internet scam from the early 2000s. There were no poorly written emails claiming to be a prince. This was highly coordinated, psychological, and powered by modern tech, the weapon. So, how did they pull off an $8 million heist without ever stepping foot in the United States? The answer lies in the devastating combination of human loneliness and artificial intelligence. Romance scams are notoriously difficult to pull off because eventually, the victim wants to see the person they are talking to. They want a video call. In the past, this is where most scammers got caught. But Abu Trica's network allegedly found a loophole. According to federal investigators, the syndicate utilized advanced AI, face swapping, and voice cloning software. They would create fake profiles on dating websites and social media platforms, targeting older, often widowed or isolated Americans. Once a connection was made, the scammers would build trust over months. If the victim asked for a video call, the scammers would use AI deepfake technology in real time. The victim thought they were looking at a handsome U.S. soldier, a wealthy businessman, or a doctor working overseas. In reality, they were looking at a digital puppet controlled from a laptop, half a world away. Once the emotional hook was set, the emergencies began. A medical crisis, a seized shipment of gold, a broken contract, or travel issues. The victims, believing they were helping the love of their life, began wiring money. The syndicate used a complex web of money mules, individuals inside the U.S. who opened bank accounts specifically to receive these stolen funds, take a cut, and then wire the rest back to Ghana or convert it into cryptocurrency. In total, the FBI traced over $8 million moving through this network. But as the old saying goes, 20 years for the thief, one day for the master. You cannot move millions of dollars across international banking systems without triggering alarms. The FBI's cyber division, working closely with international financial intelligence units, began tracking the IP addresses, the domain registrations, and the bank accounts. The trail led directly to West Africa, direct to Ghana. The FBI reached out to Ghanaian security agencies, specifically the Cybersecurity Authority and the National Intelligence Bureau. A quiet, high-stakes joint operation was put into motion. The raid was swift. Before he could delete his hard drives or transfer his crypto wallets, Frederick Kumi was taken into custody. The luxury cars were parked, The mansion became a crime scene, and the social media icon was suddenly wearing handcuffs. The arrest sent shockwaves through the Ghanaian online community. The man who represented ultimate luxury was exposed. But the drama was far from over. What followed was an intense legal battle over extradition. The Ghanaian legal system initially granted Kumi a massive bail set at 30 million Ghana cedis. For a moment, his followers wondered if he would find a way to walk free. But the United States government was not backing down. Under the bilateral extradition treaties between the U.S. and Ghana, a formal request was processed. Just recently, the legal hurdles were cleared. Abu Trica was officially handed over to U.S. federal agents and extradited to the United States. He now sits in an American federal holding facility, awaiting trial in Missouri. The charges against him, including conspiracy to commit wire fraud and money laundering, carry severe penalties. If convicted on all counts, Frederick Kumi faces up to 20 years in a federal penitentiary. No luxury cars, no designer clothes, and no social media fans. Just a concrete cell. The story of Abu Trica is a cautionary tale for our modern age. It shows how easily technology can be weaponized to exploit the most vulnerable among us. But it also proves that no matter how flashy your lifestyle is, or how clever your digital disguise might be, the law eventually catches up. What do you think about Abu Trica's arrest and extradition? Did the punishment fit the crime? Or is this just the tip of the iceberg for international AI fraud networks? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to keep up with the darkest true crime, fraud exposés, and underground operations from around the world, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This has been Bad Files. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next file.